It's loud, it's colourful, and jam-packed with tons of things to do. Dirt 5 is finally here and offers some of the best racing fun in an arcade title to date. Gymkhana also makes its return in Dirt 5 and is even crazier with the addition of homemade playgrounds. In today's video, we'll show you everything you need to know to show your friends who's boss in the high score hunt. The term Gymkhana originally comes from equestrian sports. Back in the day, horse races were held on harsh courses to show the riders' bravery. Today, Gymkhana is all about horsepower rather than horses. This form of motorsport takes its participants to tricky courses built from cones, tyres and barrels, and usually the goal is to achieve the fastest time possible. In Dirt 5 though, time works against you. In Gymkhana, the player tries to string together a series of stunts, tricks and drifts to earn the most points. The game mode is a fan favourite and therefore not missing in the newest addition to Dirt franchise. In fact, it's quite the reverse. Gymkhana never had this much potential before. You see, in Dirt 5, the so-called playgrounds are at the heart of everything. Players can create their own challenges, races, and play areas to romp about in. The possibilities are simply endless, and the Gymkhana, with its non-linear structure, benefits massively from this. No take is like the other. You can decide which obstacles you prefer and attack the course in your way and how you think you will score the most points. But before we can start learning some tricks, we have to make sure that we know the basics first. Gymkhana comes with 8 different objects that you can encounter on the playgrounds. Drift targets, which you can only activate while drifting. Spin zones, where you have to spin the car in one spot. Drift gates, which require you to go sideways to score points. Drift corners. Ramps, where jumping gains you points. Donut objects that you have to drive around without breaking your drift. Narrow gaps, which are tricky to avoid hitting. And bonus blocks that give you extra points for destroying them. We recommend creating a training ground and testing all the different objects for yourself, because in the end, practice makes perfect. But before we start to learn how to master each object, don't forget to activate the tricksteer option in the driving aids menu. This will help you drift the car much easier and keep it stable while sliding. Most of the obstacles are pretty straightforward. Objects marked in yellow require you to hit them or go through them while drifting. Blue means drifting is not needed, like with those ramps and narrow gates. Since it gets a bit more complicated with green and purple objects, we're going to take a closer look at them. Let's start with the green donut objects. Finishing a complete circle around them will grant you a guaranteed 2,000 points, which makes this obstacle one of the most lucrative. Sadly, it's easier said than done, but there are some ways to assist you. First, approach the object with both tyres in the outer circle with medium to low speed, then turn in harshly and step on the gas. Use your throttle and brakes to manipulate the drift, and if your stubborn ride won't turn in, you can use the handbrake to loosen the rear end. To draw the perfect circle, you also need to know the characteristics of your car. In the main menu, cars are assigned different handling classes, and boy, do they matter. While an S-tier car is super responsive and easy to handle while drifting, C or even B-ranked cars are much harder to control and need more practice to get used to them. So don't expect to be hitting the online leaderboards and crushing the competition immediately. Next up are the spin zones, which are the easiest way to score a lot of points. There is a simple trick to always get the full amount of rotation needed for the 1,000 points reward. Just roll up to the spin zone and direct your car just a tiny bit to the left or right, depending on which direction you want to spin. Now hold the handbrake button and step on the gas. Steer the left stick in the direction you want to spin. Let go of the handbrake. Easy money. Now that we have learnt how to tackle the different obstacles, we have to understand that only clean driving will leap us to the top of the leaderboards. The magic word in this equation is multiplier. Only when we start to string 2 or more stunts together, the multiplier will start to fill up the bar at the top of your screen. This will double your points earned when reaching the end. But be careful, crashes or long pauses between stunts will empty the multiplier and end your bonus earnings. Now that you have mastered everything there is to know about the new Gymkhana in Dirt 5, let's talk about dirty tricks and cheese. Our highest score when testing the game was when we managed to get the multiplier up to ×2, and then went full bonkers on the spin zone. Yes, not every full circle is counted, but we still managed to go top 10 on this stage with this cheesy strategy. Don't try this at home, even though it is immense fun. Gymkhana is probably one of the most fun modes in Codemaster's new addition to the Dirt universe. Even though it can be difficult to get into at the beginning, you can quickly celebrate success with a little training. Don't forget to check the tricksteer option in the driving aids menu. Try to drive cleanly and work with the multiplier. Don't give up too early. Practice makes perfect. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for having me. If you liked this video, check out our latest tutorial on how to build awesome tracks in Mario Kart live home circuit. And for more esports racing content in general, visit overtake.gg or our YouTube and other social channels. Until next time, cheers!